Good morning, beloved. So, today is my oldest son's ninth birthday, and after all the presents and the cake have been handed out, I am finding myself in a real funk. Now, I know enough to know that I'm pretty prone to melancholy and all the big emotions. I am a Scorpio after all, but I also know that I have choice around this. It's really valuable for me to honor the feelings that I'm feeling and to be able to verbalize them and kind of tune into them and get access to them. But I also know that I'm programming my reality 100% of the time through my feeling state. So when a thought or a belief, which in this case is probably around, I really, really love my son. He's a lot of hard work. We have a lot of challenges with him. Our life together has been complex. He's a great teacher of mine. And it meets the emotion that comes up. And that emotion coming from the lower three chakras is going to be something like most emotions that are based around fear. And that fear based emotion is I am too tired, I can't do this, I need a break, parenting is hard. And more importantly, what this is showing me is that there's probably some unexpressed grief or heavy energy sitting somewhere inside of my body. That's really valuable information to me because what all of that does, that thought meeting emotion meets in my heart, my electromagnetic heart, which is the center that is programming my reality all the time. My electromagnetic heart is pumping out a magnetic field bigger than any other part of my body. And what it's doing is it's programming the divine matrix or the quantum field with what I want to be receiving. It doesn't differentiate between what I'm currently feeling and what I actually want to be feeling in the future. It simply recognizes and honors the message that I'm programming into the field right now. And it says, right, we bring you that. That is what you're requesting. You've got to speak to the divine matrix or the quantum field in the language that it understands. And Greg Braden tells us that the language that the divine matrix understands is feeling. The feeling produces these waves, these magnetic waves that go out into the field and constantly program our reality. So now, as I am taking responsibility for what I am feeling around my son's ninth birthday, I could sit here in a funk all day. I could sit here feeling this heaviness in my heart, sometimes getting a sense of what it's about, sometimes not, trying to think my way through it, trying to reason with it, trying to rationalize it. None of that is going to work. What I need to do is I need to change the feeling state in my heart by using gratitude. Now, gratitude is a shortcut, if you like, or a shorthand as a way to get the right feeling state or what you truly want to be programming your reality with, which is love, not fear. You do not want those fear based emotions programming your reality. You can feel them. You've got to honor them. You've got to acknowledge them. You've got to allow them to come up and out and let them go. But what you're generating every moment of every day in your heart, you want to be in accordance with your highest truth. And this takes discipline. This takes taking responsibility. It takes knowing that you have a choice in every moment to transform your reality. And there's a really great tool that I'm going to use right now on myself, which I use every time I feel like I can't get on top of these heavy emotions. When these heavy fear-based thoughts are bringing up these heavy emotions and generating a feeling state of fear in my heart, I want to shift that. And I have enough knowledge now that if I don't shift it, I know it's a choice. I'm not sitting here victim. I'm sitting here fully empowered with the tools that I need. And this tool that I'm going to use today is simply called tapping or EFT. There are so many people out there who are putting out really amazing resources about what this tool is and why it works. But really, it's reprogramming the energy body. The energy body has a block in it whenever you're feeling fear, whenever there's any kind of unexpressed trauma or grief, that shadow aspect of our nature. And I could pretty much recognize that from everything from the way that my son was born into the world, even from his conception, there has been associated heavy energy or grief around that for me. And I've worked really hard to clear that, but I know that I'm also a complex creature and that my ego is going to come back in as often as it can, especially when I'm feeling vulnerable, to say, actually, you're still suffering from this. You're not free of this. So let's clear this stuff out. I want to know that what I am pumping out into the world today is gratitude. love. That is what I want to be programming my reality with. I want to know that that is the consciousness that I'm putting out there. And why is that important? Well, that is vital because we don't need to sit here trying to monitor our mental thoughts, our monkey mind, in order to bring towards us our best life. We often think that we have to do this piecemeal. I need this, I want that car, I want that house, I want that partner. But in fact, there is a shorthand or a shortcut to programming your best life and to have it coming to you effortlessly. And that is to hold love and gratitude in your heart for 5 minutes a day. That's it. You generate through making a list of the things that you're grateful for in the last hour or last day or last 5 years of your life, whatever you need to go back into in order to feel that gratitude well up. And then you turn that gratitude into this energy that is not about any of those things. It's bigger than that. And it just moves out into the field and it programs your consciousness. It's the lubricant that then allows the universe to bring towards you all that you truly desire, which may be even bigger and more spectacular than you have given yourself permission to believe in. So the tool I want to use today, that's a really great tool, 5 minutes a day of gratitude to program reality. But the tool I want to use to move the heavy energy that's sitting in my heart and giving the wrong message to the field is tapping, as we said. There's so many people who are doing this. And I'm going to use this on myself now to clear out any unexpressed trauma that I have around any aspect of my relationship with my son. It's really, really powerful for me as a mother to be able to say that my child and me have a complex relationship. I'm not trying to sit here telling you that I've got all this parenting stuff figured out, because I really haven't. And I have a really beautiful, challenging little person who I've brought into the world. And I need to arm myself or equip myself with the tools that will allow me to stay fully present to him. I want to let go of the woundedness of our history together. And I want to move into the fully present now moment so that I'm receiving him and he's receiving me just in this moment now without all of that baggage. So let's move into the tapping. So we're just going to go to the karate chop point, which is just below that little knuckle there. And there's a lot of variations on how you can do this, but this is what I'm going to do. This is what I've been taught, and it works really well for me. There's no really wrong way to do this. If you follow the great teachers out there like Nick and Jess Ortner or any of the other great proponents of EFT, Gary Craig, there's so many resources for how you can do this. So I'm just going to chop here. Chop, 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 chop. And as I do my setup statement, which I'll repeat 3 times, I'm just going to tune into the feeling that I'm feeling right now of heaviness, of a little bit of despondency, melancholy. And I'm just going to say this statement. Even though I have these feelings of heaviness in my heart, of melancholy and a bit of despondency, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have these feelings of heaviness in my heart and melancholy and despondency, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have these feelings in my heart of melancholy and heaviness in my heart and a bit of despondency, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And when I give myself a number out of 10 for how intense that is feeling in my body right now, 10 being the most intense, 1 being the least intense, I would say that it's at a 10. So then what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to intuit what I'm feeling as I tap through the points on my body. And the way that I do this when I'm working with a client or whether I'm working with myself is just to speak whatever bubbles up, whatever comes up. Remember, we're bringing the shadow out. When the shadow is out in the light, it is no longer darkness, it's light. We've freed ourselves, and this stuff moves really, really quickly. Even as I start tapping here, I can feel the energy shifting. I've done this so many times now that my body, my energy field starts to respond with that sense of relief of, oh yes, we don't have to stay in this heavy place. I am choosing my reality all the time. It is simply my perception. What I don't know, what I didn't know before, is that there are tools like EFT which will help me shift my perception really, really quickly. It doesn't have to happen at the level of the mental, reasoning, conscious mind. In fact, it can't really happen there. It happens at the level of the subconscious mind, and that is why we use the energy body to reprogram that subconscious mind. So as I tap through, I'm going to just tap on the inside of the eyebrow, heaviness in my heart, feeling despair, exhaustion, despondency, All of these points you can find on the internet very easily, but you can just follow what I'm doing now. Heaviness in my heart. And I'm coming down from the collarbone there and out about an inch, and that's a sore spot. When I rub it, it hurts, and I know that I'm in the right place. Grief in my heart. Unexpressed grief. Things I don't even know about. Top of my head. Things that are stopping me from enjoying this moment now, from being fully present to my beautiful 9-year-old son, that are holding me in my past, my history, in my present. Heaviness in my heart, unexpressed grief, fear. And remember, everything really is fear if it's not love. Heaviness in my heart, not free to be present in this moment now, not accessing gratitude, feeling like a victim, burdened, feeling like it's too much, that I can't do this, that I desperately want to break, that I'm not free. Fear that I'm not free and never will be. Despondency, heaviness in my heart. Fear, heaviness in my heart. Not being free. Needing a break. Feeling like I'm never going to get one. Exhausted. Now what I do now is I just stop. We've gone round 3 times there. Take a deep breath. And let it go. Now, I'm looking around now for that feeling that I was feeling when I woke up this morning and when I started tapping. And as I tune in there, because I already knew that I was preparing myself to let that go as quickly as I wanted to, by speaking about it out loud, by thinking about it in the car on the way home from school, all of those things have prepared me to let this go. And when I look around for that feeling now, I can't find it. Now, if you're doing this at home, it might be that that number comes down by 1, or it comes down by 5, or it comes down to 1 or 2. If you get 1 or 2, you can probably leave that. That's probably low enough. But if you're at, say, 5 or 6, you might want to just do another round. Just another round like this. Same again, you don't need to go back to the karate chop point unless you want to change your setup statement. And it may be that as you're tapping, you find, well, actually the real problem is not what I was tapping on, or that was just the first indicator. Beneath that is something much bigger, and that's what I want to tap on. So peel back the layers of the onion as you go. Now, if you've ever heard me talk about any of the work that I do, I will say categorically 100% every single person in this world is an intuitive. We are all 6 sensories. But you'll also hear me say that we all have blocks to receiving our intuition, or being in flow or free communication with the divine matrix, who is our co-creative partner in this lifetime. Everything we need to know is out there in the universe, waiting for us. It is waiting to tell us what to do next. We have all the guidance that we need, but we have blocks to receiving that guidance. And fear, energetic trauma that is caused by holding a fear-based emotion in our energy field, will prevent us from knowing our truth, from knowing our intuition. So I encourage you, as I do every single day, do the work of clearing those blocks. Use EFT, use the gratitude meditation, which is really, as Greg Braden says, your prayer to the universe. What are you requesting from the universe? What are you demanding be brought into your life? You can sit there in a puddle of your own poop if you want to, or you can do what I have just done, which was to turn that emotion around and go, hey, I am 100% on board with the fact that there are tough things that have happened with me and my kid, and that there may be feelings around that are heavy. I also know that I can clear them out by using such simple techniques as this, that I can shift energy, that I can move my life forward, that I can free both myself and him from being in this paradigm that doesn't serve us. I am free, and so are you. I love you. Have a beautiful day.